Hello there, and welcome to Factorio. I'm your host, Andy War. Today we're going to be starting a new game, just a random game, just to show you what the game is like. Now we're going to have to re-roll the map quite a bit because of certain problems with the map generator as far as I'm concerned. Sometimes I've started a map and my nearest call source is so far away I'm never going to be able to find my way to it. Other times it's the same with iron, and so on and so forth. So the only ones that I've changed is the richness. I like to have a nice rich map, so I don't have to keep having to move everything further and further away. Make it a bit harder. I also have the enemy bases on a rich scale. This can have a little bit of controversy because rich enemy bases will obviously drop more alien artifacts, so on and so forth. We'll get into that, so let's do it. So first thing we do, zoom out all the way. Got quite a nice large of resources here. Got nearby coal over there, iron, stone, copper, and quite a lot of build space as well. So we'll just see if there's any bugs about. Now is that oil or bugs? That is bugs, but there is oil there, so I could probably expand that away at a later date. Now this water is kind of useful, especially when you start your oil processing, but later on it'll just become an annoyance more than anything. And all of these trees are pretty much useless unless you want to use them as fuel, but just harvesting trees can take a while. First thing you want to do is get a pickaxe going. Pickaxe will help you build everything else up. Oops, stuck in some trees here. So we've got another enemy base there. Quite a lot of iron, quite a lot of copper. We just need now to find somewhere to start setting up the main base. I think I might keep this map, so much for re-rolling, but that's the way of random generation. You can never win. You sometimes lose, but you can never win really. So, first thing we want to do is start getting some coal up. Now, I should have grabbed a couple of trees while I was around there, but never mind. Just the one tree, just to start us off, because we need one wooden chest. And then we'll pop this here, I think. Dig the chest there. Harvest one piece of coal, throw it in. Just walk away. Now coal is harvesting itself. So the burner mining drill requires fuel to run. Later on we will replace that with electricity and so on and so forth. And well, actually, the mining rig's final form runs on electricity. So I like to try to get to electricity as quickly as possible. Right, I suppose while we're waiting for all of this to start working, I should explain a bit of the background of the game that I'm playing, and then I'll get on to explaining a bit of background of me. So we'll take that some coal out, put in there. So, your first item, burner mining drill. All it does is sit there and it'll gather whatever resources underneath it. So down in this bottom corner on your right, it'll say 2.3k of coal. That's how much coal it's got available to it on that nice little radius of it. Keep mining that out and dumping into this chest for us. Very useful. If I hit E, we get this crafting screen up. Your first one's your logistics. So you've got all your chests, conveyor belts, inserters, so on and so forth. Then you've got all your production items such as your pickaxe, repair packs, which are very useful, boilers, steam engines, so there's your first step onto the electricity ladder. You've got your burner mining drills, you've got your electric mining drills, which is a vast improvement over the burner ones. You'll see why as we get there. You've got the offshore pumps for providing water to various things. You've got a stone furnace, you've got your labs, and then we move on to the intermediate products. These things sit in between basically your base, so anything like this will require intermediate products. And then you've got your combat. I really suggest, there's very little to explain within these, so I really suggest you have a look for yourself. Later on, as we unlock more stuff, I will agree, you can do more. Now if I hit Alt, that will tell you what's in this chest with its little icon, so that says coal. Also down in the bottom right, it'll tell you it's mining out coal for me. If I control click on that, I take all the coal out. Very, very useful. Dump half the coal back in there, and we will go hunting for some stone. I know I saw some somewhere. What we're going to want is another burner mining drill, and quite a few of what is in my slot 2 at the moment. Furnaces, stone furnaces to be exact. These will allow me to turn iron ore and copper ore into usable items. Steel plates, and I've forgotten the name of the copper one. Copper plates probably, but let's have a quick look. Yeah, it is copper plates. So that will turn iron ore and copper ore into steel plates and copper plates. Iron plates, isn't it? Yes, steel plates come later. So, right now, just mining out some stone, trying to get quite a bit so I can expand my base a little bit. I do like to expand quite quickly. I do like to get to the electricity stage as quickly as possible. I'm not one to hang around. So, 30 stone, that should do it. And I need some steel to kick off with. Now, burner miner drills require a stone furnace, so I'll just produce a couple more of them just to hang around. We'll put that there, and we'll get, let's say about 10 iron ore. I'm also one that tries not to build redundancy, so if I've got 3 burner miner drills, I'll try not to build any more, because they become very redundant very quickly within this game. Once you hit electricity, oh, I shift clicked then to drop all the iron ore into there, and then you'll notice one disappeared automatically. That means it's ready to start kind of getting turned into the next product. So I'll explain the screen a little bit. So here we've got the iron ore, that's there. We've got one already in, it does that automatically. We've got the results will come here, and we need fuel. So we'll dump half the fuel in there, and there we go. It'll start automatically creating me the iron plates. With my alt on, I can see that it's got iron plates in it. If I hover over it, down in the bottom right, you can see it's got 22 coal, 5 iron ore, and 4 iron plates. If I control click on it, I pull out the iron plates automatically. And now I've got enough iron plates to get my next burner miner drill, which will require even more coal. Oh, but I've got coal on me, so we'll set this up so output automatically goes straight into that burner miner, into the furnace even. So now that will automatically fuel this with iron ore. You'll see it pop in for like half a second, if we're lucky. Due to the limitations of my system, I can only record at 30 FPS, so if you don't see this, I do apologise, but on my screen it's popping in there very, very quickly. But I've now got one automation set up. Got iron plates when I need them. I now need some copper plates turning up, so another burner miner, oh, another furnace, and I suppose I should grab some more coal. A lot of players with the recent additions to the game have started saying how you should use oil to fuel a lot of your products, and I kind of don't agree with this. There is more than enough coal at any one time anywhere on the map, and coal is quite useful for turning into your industry basically. So why use precious oil to fuel that kind of area? Anyhow, got my copper working. More on that later, probably well later. I suppose while all of this is working, I should start talking about myself really. While I'm talking about myself, I'll get some more stone. I'm new to the streaming side of things there, as you can probably tell. I'm not very confident. I'm doing this more to raise my speaking confidence, get myself used to speaking to an audience, even though I'm probably never going to see or meet any of you. You never know, I might do. If you guys enjoy my things, I urge you to get in contact with me. I don't care if you subscribe, I don't I'm never going to pressure anyone to subscribe. I'm not going to include them buttons ever. If you subscribe, brilliant. If you talk to me, brilliant. If you don't, I'm never going to know anywhere. I will get back to you if you do decide to talk to me. I'll quite happily talk back. I'm not saying I'm unfriendly. Definitely not unfriendly, but this is more of a personal project than it is providing entertainment to the masses, basically, is all I'm saying. It's to try to raise my self-confidence in my speaking voice. It's try to make myself talk, basically, be more confident within myself, present a bit of an alter ego, if you like, and make myself seem more than I am. Hopefully this will lead to better jobs. More confidence is always better, let's face it. You'll often see me but more call into the bare and minor drills than the fairnesses, and that's because bare and minor drills go through it faster. So now that you know a bit about me, I suppose you need to know a bit about the channel. For the most part, the channel is going to be just me playing games. I play games very, very often. There'll be a mix of Space Engineers, and I will include links in the description. Whenever I play a game, I will always include a link to where you can get the game from. Normally I play via the Steam portal. Not always. Factorio isn't on Steam. There's a few other games that I really enjoy that aren't on Steam, but for the majority of it, yes, it's going to be Steam. Right, back to the game really quickly, because I'm creating an offshore pump, then 4 boilers, and then the steam engine. And I do this because 4 boilers powers 3 steam engines, and I build them in that kind of array. 1 offshore pump powers 3 sets of the arrays then. So 1 offshore pump for 9 engines. And I suppose I should really build some pipes. Ooh, I can't afford pipes at the moment. Keep running back and forth, distributing the goods. So the channel, it's going to have Space Engineers, it's going to have Factorio, it's going to have puzzle games, sorry, I've been drinking pop, so if I pause, it's probably because I'm in the middle of a burp. Really should lay off the pop, but the only alternative at the moment is caffeine, and I kind of need an early night. I don't intend for this to replace my main job either, so I intend to update regularly. I play games like no one's business really, but you know, if it does replace my main job, brilliant. You'll get so many updates. You'll probably get 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10 videos a day. I kid you not. That's just how often I play games. However, I don't expect it to. I don't expect you guys to fund me playing computer games. I watch a lot of players myself. I watch Nerdcube, I watch Total Biscuit, I watch Gassy Mexican, I watch quite a range of people play computer games. I do it because it's fun. It helps me find games like Factorio, helps me find games like Banished, which will get featured on here at some point. It helps me play Euro Truck Simulator. I really feel dirty saying that. Euro Truck Simulator 2, oh how could you play it? Because it sounds such a dull game, but I will probably not be posting up Euro Truck Simulator 2 because I take it far too seriously. Sorry, quick drink there. Like I said, this is more about me than it is anyone else. If you want to see me play games, feel free to comment. I'll be happy to look at anyone or anything, as long as it looks fun. I'm not going to sit there and struggle playing horror games. I don't like horror games. I love the idea. 9 times out of 10, they turn into more frustration grinds than anything else for me. There are really good games out there, and I didn't even see that coal patch. Sorry, that's just. Yeah, horror games. I like horror games. I really do. I love playing Dead Space. It scared the nanas out of me, basically. And yeah, the only problem I have with it is it scared the nanas out of me. I couldn't play it anymore. I love playing The Hidden. It's a source game, quite good, kind of dying, but still also kind of alive. It's in that Quasimodo state at the moment, where no one knows if it's alive or dead. Actually, I suppose that's something else. I've created far too many of them. Need some of them. Right, anyhow, back to the game, because at the moment I'm doing something quite expansive and energetic. So, I've got my water, as you can see by that blue pipe there. Offshore pump supplies water. There's the water sat there being 9.9. That should just be a steady 10. That gets fed into the boilers. Boilers will heat up the water and turn the steam engine on. You need small electric poles to be able to run everything. And I'm going to use electric inserters to insert coal into the boilers basically. So there's my electric cable. That'll automatically hook up to the steam engine via invisible cables and hook up to the inserters via invisible cables, so I don't have to hook anything up. All I have to do is make sure, if you can see that copper wire, just make sure all the cables hook up together. Now with the conveyor belts or transport belts, this inserter will quite happily grab off the edge of that transport belt there. Transport belt just carries it a little bit over. So even though there's an electric pole in the way, even though it looks like it shouldn't work, it does. I don't question it. I just take quite free reign of the exploit. Oop. Normally I have these the other way around, so let's just swap them around. We'll run that there. So now I need some way of getting coal onto this belt, so it'll automatically feed itself. There's no point turning it on. There's no point feeding it coal at the moment because I'm not running anything electric apart from these inserters, which is a false fallacy loop. I've not got anything to work on it yet. So I need some more iron to get my first electric item, and I'll take advantage of that coal field there that I completely missed earlier. So now I've got some iron. I'll refer to iron plates as just iron and copper plates as just copper. And when I mean the ores, I'll just say the ores of each, because otherwise there's very little real point. There we go, my first mining drill. Get rid of these trees. Now, I'm going to explain a little bit of these mining drills because a lot of this wasn't explained to me, and the amount of frustration I went through and the amount of screaming I went through when I realised you've got your main mining drill in the middle. That's the 3x3 square. I'd move the mouse and show you, but that'll move the mining drill, so there's very little point. In the middle is your, like, the axis, right? So you've got the 3x3, and around that you've got this nice big 5x5 corridor. The 3x3 is the bit that I thought it worked on, and I thought the 5x5 border was just decoration. Turns out one electric mining drill will mine that entire area for you. So that entire nice big 5x5 area is affected by that one electric mining drill. And this comes in very useful for what I call strip mining, because I will stick multiple of these together in one big row. And this will empty the area out very quickly of resources. I used to bundle them all very close together, but now that I know you've got that strip, you can space them out quite well if you want the field to last a little longer, or if you're mining out already a lot of resources, or if a conveyor belt's full. Because a miner that isn't actually doing any work costs you electricity to run it. In standby mode it uses, I think it's 30 kilowatts, but don't quote me on that. We'll have a look in a moment. So, craft some more transport belts. You will use a lot of transport belts. In anything you build, you will literally use a lot of transport belts. And the transport belts can be upgraded, so I don't mind producing an awful lot of them. They can get upgraded to the fast and then eventually the express. The express isn't actually that all worthwhile, but very useful for the corners on fast. If you wiki it, there's a ton of people who can explain why you should use express on corners and then fast for your straights a lot better than I can ever do. They'll do it 10 times more justice. Right, so we'll run some electric poles just up alongside the conveyor, right up to that miner. So that miner, if I hover over it, you can see has a blue little square around the electric pole. That means that if that electric pole gets removed, the miner no longer has power and the entire system goes down. Seeing as we've got one miner, we best get some fuel in there. So, first thing you notice, the inserters suddenly spring to life. The water in there is slowly rising in temperature, it's up to 81 already. The water in there is saying it's 100. It's kind of like a pass-on effect, and here comes our first lot of coal. So we watch it and it gets fed in to the boiler. Now what I really should have done was I'll take that out there quickly and I'll dump it all in there. Well, maybe not that much. Because what will happen is the first boiler in the row will heat the water up, and the last one will just kind of sit there idling. So this one, which hasn't got an inserter, might as well be the one powering it up for now. So all of them are nice and full. It'll only fill them to a certain limit. Whoops. So the limit for boiler is 5. This is all explained on the Factorio wiki, and as you can see, I'm starting to build up an excess of coal from one little miner. The next one I want is I'm going to need a lot more iron. Iron is pretty much the backbone to your civilization. This has now become redundant. So what we'll do is we'll chew that up. We'll take the box with us. The box is also redundant now. As you can see, I've already developed redundancies within the game. But you need these little bits of redundancy just to start working, really. We'll get a couple more furnaces. We'll just dump in a full stack just to get rid of it. And we'll let them two just churn away there on my iron. And we'll go check out how the coppers are doing. Obviously, coal, I've now got a healthy supply. Just constantly churning away up there. Whoops, we've got a full stack. Full stack 1 to 8 will stop your furnaces from working. So either have an offshoot, have an inserter pulling products out of the thing and putting it somewhere else, or have it going into a box, or some kind of way to manage that to keep it all alive. Whoops. So yellow flashing symbol, no power. No power cable to be exact. So we'll just put one there. A lot of my designs rely on upgraded technologies, so at the moment we're kind of sitting idling waiting for the upgraded technologies, but hopefully they'll come sooner rather than later. So a couple more electric mining drills just to kind of replace these. We'll harvest these trees. A bit of wood's not too bad because they'll let you produce the first electric poles, but later on all you're going to do is end up with storage full of wood and electric poles, and you go in, why did I bother spending all that time harvesting useless resources? So we're going to strip mine iron because iron's such a vital resource. It'll be better just to strip mine it. And then we've got one offshoot there. What we'll do is what we could do with is a coal, have that one it solely powering the power, and then we'll have some down here powering our furnaces. I think that's going to be the best way. Let's have a look around this way. This is where I hit a massive biter base and go, I can't expand anywhere. It's happened before, it'll happen again and again and again and again, and that's kind of the fun of Factorio. If that's the case, that you build a small base and you try and survive as best as you can. So it looks like I can expand this way. There's a few iron fields, but I can take advantage of them when I need them. Oop, there's a biter base. Oh, I'm stuck in trees. Really don't want to waste ammunition on trees. You can shoot the trees, get rid of them that way. That's one of the best and easiest ways to get rid of trees. and you'll see me doing that a lot later. Because obviously I don't need the wood. And we've got another biter base there. So I can expand this way. I just got to be a bit careful on how I expand. And make sure I set up defenses and keep an eye on them two enemy bases. Although I'm surprised I've not been attacked yet. It's going quite well. Biters hate me. Don't know why. I've seen people play this game and it'll be 10 minutes in before they get attacked, 20 minutes in before they get attacked. Sometimes, you know, I've seen one person play, it was like 4 episodes he put up before he got attacked. I was just sat there going, what? Me, I'm usually attacked by now. I don't know if that's because I expand so quickly, therefore produce a lot of pollution. If you have a look on the mini-map, in fact I will open the main map, the little pink squares that's surrounding my base at the moment is pollution, and that annoys the local residents of the planet, and they will come and find out what's causing this pollution and try to take it down with much aggression. They like to do that. They like to have a good jump. I don't know why I brought some coal over here, because I'm stripping this out now. Hopefully that should be enough plates for what I have in mind. What we'll do is we'll create a couple more furnaces. So I want to... Is that going to be far enough away from that bottom water lake? Let's just say yeah. Is that going to be enough room for a station? Let's go here. This seems like it's miles away, but it just means I will have to move it later, hopefully. And we're going to want to feed this, and we're going to want some inserters. And I haven't really thought this through, really. What I'll do is I'll take 2 of you back, but I've got a rough idea of where I'm going to start now. When you start playing late game and then you come back and play an early game, you really kind of lose sight of what you should start working on and what you shouldn't, and before you know it, you kind of dig yourself into a pit like I just did there. So you do lose sight of just how big your projects get quite quickly and quite easily. That's okay. No one said you have to keep small. The entire idea of the game, in my opinion, is to build massive, big factories, to maintain them, to keep them running healthily and hopefully not get eaten by the bugs. So the reason why I set them back up, as you can see, I ran out of iron really for all my conveyors that I want to build. I eat through conveyors like bugs eat through my base. It's quite ridiculous. As you can see also, I've not powered up these systems yet, and that's because I've not got the transport belts worked out. I've not got anything worked out. Not even got them feeding into anything yet. I don't want them switched on and moving products to where I don't want them until I've got everything finalized. So what this will do is, iron ore will come down the top belt, get put onto the top edge of this belt up here, and coal will get taken up the bottom belt and put on the bottom edge. Then all I need is one inserter to feed in and one inserter to pull out, and I've got pretty much a working factory. And I've not even done anything yet. Not really. The factories will get big and complex and messy, and you will go, how should I even maintain these? And half the time it's poor planning on my part. You will see me pulling my hair, well, you will see me pulling my hair out, but you'll hear me pulling my hair out more often than not, trying to work out how to get, I don't know, copper plates from one side of the factory to the other side without having to dismantle 3/4 of the factory. Thankfully they included logistic bots, but that's such a later technology. There's very little point in describing what they do at this moment in time. If you're interested, go and have a look. If you're not interested, tough luck on you. When I get there, I'll explain them to you. So, just something I know. Carrying iron, I've seen players do this a lot. Carrying spare supplies that you just do not seem to need, or use, or require. Like iron ore. What's the point in carrying iron ore around with you? Iron plates? Yes, you need iron plates. They're useful, but I can't smelt iron ore in my infantry. So I might as well get them into a furnace, get them working for me.